Hey there, this is 5 minutes of Love and War. I am Liberty, and today I'm going to read from Complete 3-book series, Demons Release Trilogies. This is a nonfiction autobiography full of the memoirs and writings and journals from even in the beginning of my recovery. And I want to share with you today one of the testimonies. This is to future overcomers, not those who have overcome everything and don't need Jesus. Truth or testimony number 4. For those who have been with me, there are obviously 3 more testimonies that brought us to this point of number 4. So catch up with the videos, and here we go. So the next Saturday, February 8th, 2013, I decided to thoroughly clean the house. Blinds, curtains, windows, walls, everything. It was kind of manic, but considering I had just quit smoking, I thought it to be the right thing to do because now I could smell the cigarette scent anytime I'd walk in the house. I prayed for the energy and motivation, aware that I'd been up since 3 a.m. So I figured as soon as it was light outside, I would surely get started, and I did. After the window treatments were done, I began to vacuum. See, I needed to get my cleaning done this day as well because the next day was Sunday. And Sundays were my specific day, my specific Sabbath day, and a day of fasting. Okay, moving on. I was interrupted by a phone call from my papa. He said he was planning to pick up my niece, who was spending the night, and myself for church in the morning. I was thrilled he wanted to go to church, and even more so, picking us up to go together. The thing about it was something triggered in my head while he was still on the phone talking to me. I stopped doing whatever I was in the middle of doing. While still on the phone with him, I proceeded to walk over to the mirror. I began picking obsessively and mashing at the little acne bumps and scars on my face. When the phone call was over, my body was in so much pain, so much, that I dropped to my knees and cried to God and asked, why? Please help me figure out why. You see, for as long as I can remember, I had always picked at my face and my body. I cried so hard to God and immediately ran to take a shower. My neck, back, arms, legs, face, and every piece of my body hurt so bad. I cried in the shower for God to take this pain from me, heal these wounds, and fix me from the inside. I listened, and he said, call your mother. I got out of the shower and remembered what God told me. So I did it. I called Mama. All I asked her was, how long have I been picking? She said, since at least 2 years old. She remembered that I used to hold the Afghan blanket my grandma Helen crocheted for me through a hole I made in order to stick my thumb through and pick at the top of my nose. Still today, I have a scar there. She began telling me a story that she'd always kept secret. My little sis and I were left with a babysitter back in Oregon when my parents were still married. Not just any babysitter, a trusted one, a Jehovah's Witness. Turns out I was molested. She couldn't really say, let's see. This testimony grows yet to another level. On Wednesday evenings, I attended a class called Transforming You at the church I'd been going to. There were about 12 people in that class, including me, except everybody else attending was on their way to be pastors, chaplains, and ministers. See, I was invited to this class by a very nice married couple who I was currently renting my apartment from. They were members of this church and also the instructors for the class. On Wednesday, February 20th, 2013, at the end of this class, the pastor who was instructed that day asked if anyone was in need of prayer. I raised my hand at the same time someone else did to request prayer. But she called on me. In fact, she called me forward and asked me to sit down at the table located in the front of the room. I immediately started to declare my issue with picking since the age of 2. I shared that it was an obsession and it was out of control. All these people with much faith gathered around me and laid hands upon hands on me. I was told to uncross my limbs and repeat what the pastor was saying. Mind you, all my free will, of course. I was anointed with holy oil from head to toe. While all these believers prayed over me, that demon still didn't want to go. I couldn't focus at first or even utter Jesus Christ's name out loud. I felt as if I would swallow my tongue and die before that happened. My head began to ache. I felt this awful feeling run to my feet, and my body was trembling inside. It wouldn't leave me. I needed to take off my boots. Another believer then anointed my feet. The people didn't give up, especially the pastor who held my hands and reminded me to stay focused on her eyes. A song suddenly played in my head that I remembered hearing in church. It made me focus on the pastor's eyes and gave me strength to call his name. Jesus, I said in a loud whisper. And again, Jesus, as I started focusing on a vision I was noticing in her right eye. It became so clear to me what I was looking at. I saw Jesus on a wooden cross in crystal blue water in her right eye. He came towards me with his arms spread for me. I could see why to focus and call on him. I did with all the strength he gave me. He released that demon the very instant I called his name. And for you, the readers of my dreams, I am blessed to give you this vision forever implanted in my heart and mind. Another burden lifted and a demon released. Truth through testimony. And for everyone here who needs freedom from self-torture, that's a tormentor that had access through the pride of life, and it was called self-torture. And what it is, it's a demon. It's not from God. It's not that the demon was inside of me, but it was oppressing me. And today I just pray for that oppression to be exposed for what it is in your life, if there is, or if someone you love is being oppressed by the enemies of God. I pray that today the Lord would set you free, set them free, and that spirit of heaviness and that spirit of fear and that tormentor would be bound, and you and your loved ones would be released today by the power in the name of Jesus Christ. That you would say Jesus and speak Jesus to every area of your life that you need Jesus and you need freedom. Speak Jesus. Jesus over that area. Jesus. 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 Jesus over that area too. And that one that's hiding. Jesus. And that one, Jesus. Speak Jesus over the areas of your life, and he will give you freedom. Begin to trust in the name Jesus. Come to know him. He already knows you. Be blessed today. 5 minutes of love and war.